Welcome to the train of thought. Please stand behind the yellow line as we are about to approach the station. Today's destination, internship. Today's destination, internship.
Welcome to the Train of Thought podcast brought to you by The Poetic Wit. I'm your train conductor host, Aaron Patrick, and with me, we have our friendly neighborhood scholar girl, Julia, back on the show. What's up?
Hey everybody!
Hey! My goodness, it's been such a long time. Now it's been what? We are officially going to conclude our diploma and stuff. Yeah, if you guys don't know,
Like 2 months.
2 months? Yeah. It's
Or something.
2 more months for our final semester. If you guys didn't know already, Julia is my coursemate and was a co-host on the pilot episode called College Life. Do check that out if you're looking forward to your campus experience. That is, if we are ever going to have a campus experience, because at this point we're not so sure. We're all stuck at home doing e-learning and stuff. Hey Julia, how have you been so far?
So far, I'm actually... I kind of got used to this MCO life at this point. I've come into terms with my introverted self and is more than glad to stay at home for the rest of the semester.
Oh.
Except for presentations. Presentations I still prefer face to face or through the laptop webcam is just weird. Other than that, it's home sweet home.
Wow. Well, for me, I'm a more extrovert and I prefer the outdoors. I really miss going out and I really miss that classroom experience, and because you get to actually meet people face to face and have real interactions. Now everything's just limited, So even actually before COVID-19 started, COVID-19. Sorry?
I thought we were restarting? No, okay.
No. I mean, beginning of the year, this whole pandemic thing was so unexpected. We only started shutting down in March onwards.
March 18th.
Yeah, March onwards. But it's
16th night was the news. March 18th was the actual lockdown. Yeah. I know the date very well.
Wow, you actually remember the date.
Yeah, because it was a very sudden departure from my internship place, which I love a lot. So
Yeah. I think this episode is meant for us to come back and actually let's catch up on what we've been doing, because it's been such a long time. The first episode rather was back in our which semester was it? Our 5th semester, right? Convergent journalism. Convergent journalism. So 5 semesters. What I think, it's almost 1 year. It was around June, July that we recorded that.
I think roughly 1 year.
Yeah. So Julia, what have you been doing the past few months since 2020 started?
Okay, so the first 3 months we were obligated to be in internship. So I was in internship. I got accepted into RAGE. It's an investigative journalistic department under the Star Media Group. They are a very nice bunch of people that I really liked working and having fun with them. During that time, I really learned a lot, not just academic based, not just skill based, but learning a lot about myself and my mental health got better lah. And honestly, that routine life of having to wake up a certain time every single day without fail, and only the weekends to slack off, it kind of got my body into a proper healthy routine instead of sleeping at very odd hours and waking up at very odd hours. So yeah, during the internship time the first 3 months was the best 3 months of my life. There were a bit hiccups here and there, but overall it was a great experience during that time, honestly.
Wow. And that was our last semester. The previous semester, that was our second last semester. Now we're in our final semester. We're doing our electives and stuff. I pretty much me and Julia are in the same batch, and I've also been through this internship as well. So yeah, just to recap, for the past 3 months, our batch we had to go for an a compulsory in-company practical training semester, and it's known as an internship. And an internship, if you guys are curious to know, an internship is when one is employed to learn and also gain working experience in a company of their choice. So in our case, we are studying at IACT. It's mostly to do with media related companies, or even if it's not media related companies, it will be some form of creative communication segment department of any
Mhm.
like company of our choice as well. um and yeah, that's that. So reminiscent of our format last episode, we are going to share with you 5 tips on going through your internship, for your internship experience.
Yes,
Yes.
5, so that your journey in internship will go as smooth as ours. I would have said it's smooth. Yeah, smooth. Is yours smooth?
Oh yeah, I haven't shared my experience. Yeah, I stopped short of. Yeah, so Julia worked at the Rage. Wow,
Mm-hmm.
sounds very very ons. If you guys don't know already, I'm pretty sure you all know this. If you all don't know this, you've been living under a rock. Like the Star is one of Malaysia's biggest papers, like newspaper company, and they have a youth department called Rage, and they do all these projects and documentaries, and they basically, yeah, they do a lot of on ground work as well. I
Yep.
I've heard that. Oh yeah, Julia, do share with us some of the projects that you've been working with Rage on, like
Oh yeah, sure.
yeah.
So like there were two projects that were ongoing during my time at internship. The first one was Eye on the Ball, which is a documentary film that has been filmed for quite some time about our local Malaysian blind footballers.
Mm.
They are actually a sport called blind football, where the football actually has sounds, so that so even though they are blind, they can actually figure out the position of the ball based on the sound, which is actually kind of cool. So like you imagine these people running in full speed, blind, and chasing after a ball. Like even with sight, we normal human beings can't really play football, but imagine them. They have actually represented Malaysia in the Para Asian Games and actually won first place. So it was it was, I think, Malaysia's first. No, I don't think it's Malaysia's first. So basically, their documentary went on cinema. It was supposed to be premiered in cinema for public viewing, but because of COVID, it got postponed until
Shucks,
when,
man.
no idea. But the movie is really great. It's really touching and really inspirational. Although I only entered in the last 15 minutes because I had duties, I instantly cried. Yeah, it's a tearjerker. But yes, it's
Yo,
emotional. It's a very emotional show. Really, you should watch it for both as a Malaysian and also to feel inspired. Because if people who are having different people who are differently abled can do more, then what about us normal people? We have no excuse, you know.
whoa.
And the other one is anti-bullying campaign, which is actually framed as a kindness campaign. So it's called Stand Together, where we are trying to promote kindness and empathy this year, empathy in schools, so that it can foster a kinder and a safer environment for everybody. So it's like understanding what's bullying, understanding where the bullying comes from, understanding how to understand yourself and what you should do as a bystander, as a victim, or as a teacher, as a parent. It's a really what's the word I'm finding for? It's a really uplifting campaign because it you can really see the effect with students because I have been to one of their school tour
Mm.
with a celebrity called Ismail Izani. So it was really nice to see that they're actually putting effort into a lot of this. And it's also very tear-jerking because I was honestly in the very start, I was very skeptical with this because from someone who was bullied before in high school, it to me it sounded like it won't work. But actually, the more I got into it, the more I actually did the program. It really hung on to me, and I really understood it. And I even practice it myself among my own French within my friends and also like to myself. So it's a very good initiative by Rich. Yeah.
Dude, you're so lucky. You get to work with Rage. Very well known youth journalism department of Star, and also get to do all these very inspiring projects. No, I salute you, man. Really
Yeah,
salute you,
you,
Julia.
you feel inspired as you do your work. Even
Mm.
as I was said, I was skeptical with a lot of things because I originally entered wanting to do more on like those undercover kind of thing, like their pangolin trafficking or their predator in my phone kind of undercover going as a spy kind of thing. But at first I was down, but towards the second half of it, I was actually really on about all the campaign I was doing at that point. So it's really life changing, reality
Mm.
changing. Yeah.
Wow, very good. So good. So yeah, that's Julia's internship. So for me, I interned at a uh Christian podcast station. Hey guys, just a short break. Uh I forgot to mention this while I was recording with Julia. My company's name is actually called Rema Radio. You can go look that up. It's RHEMA RADIO. It's a local Malaysian Christian podcast station, and I would love for you to go check it out. Right, I forgot to mention the name. Now back to the show. It's not really like they don't really have like an actual studio or office. They used to have a studio, but then for some reason yeah, it didn't work. It kind of shut down. And it's very decentralized. So actually we were talking about this in class and how there are different systems of management for companies. But for this particular company that I've worked with, it's not even a company, it's a trust project that they are doing. uh it's very decentralized, meaning that there is no office at all. You just meet up once in a while just to check up on each other and any updates and stuff, and then just carry the work home along with you, and just work on it, right? But I had the opportunity to also go out for events. Let's say, if you all know who Pastor Raymond Koh is, he's one of the social workers and pastors who got abducted because God knows what happened lah. If y'all don't know already, do check out the news. And I got to get in touch with like these people, his wife Susanna, and like friends and family on let's say their second, was it their second third anniversary of yeah, his abduction. And then just hearing the updates from them, it sort of like it got me like very personal in this. And at the same time, when I'm able to interact with these people, what more of like a common hope and also like faith together in action, it feels really, it's also very personal and meaningful and inspiring. Another event I also went for is like I've been to different events. What events were it? Yeah, I've been to one press conference where they were opening a new what's it called, a movement or a ministry, where they were doing like more outreach projects, equipping churches and stuff like that. Then there was another one where I went for this big conference where they had all these like data and analytics and insights about how churches can work to improve better, let's say, communication with the new generation or intergeneration dynamics and things like that. And it was really inspiring because you get to see how people actually interact with each other in terms of, let's say, yeah, they are sharing their faith and things like that. and I get to do a lot of things. So being like, because the internship company that I worked for was small, I was practically the only intern there, and also like their only full time intern, because like everyone else works on like a part time or a voluntary basis. So I get to do a lot of things. So I get to handle recording equipment or audio recording. I also get to take pictures and um, edit stuff and do all sorts of things. Now I was basically like their multi tool. So even though it's not as big as, let's say, Julia's like, oh, the rage, it's all the rage and stuff. But
No lah. All companies have their target audience and like
mm,
their niche lah. You can't really compare it that way. It's not
right.
great. Not great.
Okay, I think yeah, that's my bad as well. But I don't know, because in my eyes, because like Julia's like way up there. I don't know, everyone seems to have that perception. But yeah, Julia
Oh,
has always been like
I
that
only
one.
see myself down there.
Oh my goodness. Okay, never mind. Okay, but like yeah, I really admired Julia for like her work ethic and her standards and stuff. And then even getting to work with like the rich is like wow. And then compared to like all this Christian podcast station, okay, cool. But yeah, not to say it's anything big, but I still got some work to do. I still learned some things, and I sort of found, if I may say, like, if yeah, we didn't really interact in person a lot also. My let's say, should I say co-workers? But because we are able to share something in common, I found sort of like my family there also lah. And I still got to do like meaningful work there also, and still learned a couple of things. Yeah, so let's move on. um we've got 5 tips to share from you from our internship experience, so that you would know what to expect when you
Yes.
go out, if you're ever gonna go out for a internship and in company practical training experience. uh yeah, god bless the COVID situation, and hopefully if things are ever going back to normal, or if you get to have an internship experience during your new normal, don't know how that's going to look like, but here are some tips that are still relevant, and we hope that you're able to apply it in your own. Okay, the first points from me: make a good first impression. So what do I mean by making a good first impression? To start off, well, how do you even get employed in the first place? You will have to go for an interview, correct? How do you get that interview? You have to send in your resume, and you have to contact the companies and things like that. So it's really important to make a good first impression, so as to actually stand out to your employer and say like, no, hey, I'm actually worth, yeah, I'm actually worth it. I'm actually worth being employed. So from your resume to your first email, how you present yourself during your interview, it's really important to just to do your best, to put your best foot forward and be your best self, to stand out to your employer, so that they can see your potential value as well. So uh how you craft your resume, there's a certain way to do it. I won't get too much into detail, but it has to include certain things, like, let's say, a small introduction, a brief introduction about yourself, certain, let's say, work experiences, maybe to get to know you more, like other skills or hobbies, and also include some referral contacts. So let's say you're going on an internship from your college, wherever you're studying, and it's related to your coursework. The best referrals or references you can put in your resume are, let's say, those of your lecturers who actually see potential in you, that kind of thing. So that your resume, and then you need to be able to craft an email. um don't screw up this part, guys. This is very important, because a lot of people, uh even like guys our age, let's say around, like, those in college lah, I don't know, some people some people don't seem to be able to write a proper email. Like, okay,
But
I don't want to
okay.
be talking so much. Julia can share how to write an email.
Oh, For the first thing is to always have a greeting. Start off with a hello, greetings, good evening, good afternoon, never good night. And then there should be if it's for an interview, you must have like I forgot the term, but you have to have a short description of your resume already in the email itself. I forgot the term for it. Aaron, do you remember the term?
Is it a cover letter? I mean,
Cover letter. Yeah.
but isn't the email considered a cover letter already?
Yeah, the
Because
email is the cover letter.
yeah, pretty much.
So you have to write like a cover letter in your email and make it as concise as possible. It's technically a very concise version of your resume, and it has to be a interesting hook so that if the company just scrolls through and not download your file or see your resume at all, they will already have that interest pick to choose your resume out of a lot of other applications.
Mm-hmm.
And for email etiquette, also end it with a sign off. So regards, your name and where you're from. So if like you're from so for internship especially, so you just go, for example, regards, your name. Okay, for my example is regards, Julia Fung, diploma in mass communication. Like that.
Wow. And guys, please don't leave your subject section empty.
Yes.
Always fill
Yes.
in the subject. So let's say request for interview or like for
Internship.
internship request or something like that. I don't know. Just don't leave your email empty. Make sure you know who you're addressing it to. Address them properly.
Yes.
Because
If you're not sure of the gender, just use a gender neutral term, sir. So it's actually a gender neutral.
oh, is it?
Yeah.
Or you
In
could
general, it's sir. For like even higher ups, it's just sir.
or you could put to whom it may concern, but like that's a
That,
bit
that,
yeah, duh.
yeah, and just make sure your sentence is formal, but yet carry your personality in it. So don't go all yo, what's up, but at the same time sound like you know, and not like a copy paste version of someone that just googled how to write an email letter. You get what I mean?
Yeah, because a lot of the I think first impression would start from your email. Actually,
Mhm.
it's inherent in like every stage,
Every part, every stage. Yeah.
every stage up until your interview, and even beyond that also, how you carry yourself, how you project yourself rather, really shows, you know, who you are as a person, or really can tell, you know, what kind of person you are, like, you know, if you're gonna be that slouchy, lazy, don't give a crap, basically they're gonna see that, hey, this person is not worth hiring also, because like, you know, the kind of character is really unattractive. So yeah, don't leave your email blank, and you know, during your interview also, you know, speak up and smile, you know, engage, have eye contact.
Don't slouch.
Don't slouch. Yes, don't slouch. You know, stand up straight, engage, be confident, but don't be too overconfident. Don't get cocky. Don't get what's the word? Prideful. Yeah. So yeah, make a good first impression. Yeah. Other than that, just be yourself also lah. You know, like what Julia said. You know, don't be like, oh, standard operating procedure. I don't know how to yeah, don't
Don't be a
be,
copy paste of everyone from the internet.
oh yeah, don't be like that. Don't be like a factory mode setting, don't know what lah. So be yourself lah. You know, be yourself. Your individuality is something that will also bring that flair of uniqueness that will actually make you stand out, and also add to the impression that you can make, which will also better lead to hiring you. So yeah, make a good first impression.
Okay, so for the second tip, it is to be willing to step out of your comfort zone. So when you're first doing internship, is actually like your first step into the working world. And it's going to come with a lot of first time experiences, and you will find yourself lost at times if you really have no idea what to do. And during times like this, it's common to be scolded or like reprimanded or very drastically scolded. But no matter what happens, you have to take it with an open heart. Don't take it deeply into your emotions, and take it as a learning phase. So the main point of the whole internship is for you to get used to this industry setting, so that when you actually go out to the working world to actually find a proper job, you don't feel like what's the word, rusa masuk kampung. You don't feel like, what's the English term? Is there an English term for this? You don't
Uh, okay,
like
wait. I'm
like
wait, let me think. Bagai rusa masuk kampung. Basically, that it means like you don't be what.
you feel like like so lost in. Okay, direct translation is you don't feel like a deer that just entered a village. Like you feel so lost in everything, and like I can't adapt, and you have this culture shock. So this really prepares you for
Let's see if
yeah.
there's an English equivalent. Rusa masuk kampung in
Yeah.
English.
So when you find that, I shall explain more.
Okay.
So the thing about the internship itself is, like I said, to step out of your comfort zone. So if you're naturally shy, you're naturally afraid to talk on the to call people, for example, take up that job. Purposely take up that job, because it really, the more you get used to it, the more you feel that you can do it. And honestly, talk to your seniors. It really varies from workplace to workplace, but if your workplace is a friendly kind, do talk to your seniors, get their insights, their work experiences. They might tell you stories on how their work has been, what have they done before. You'd be amazed hearing their stories. Trust me, I got so many interesting stories from my work colleagues that time, both professional side and their personal life story, and it was a real joy to be there, lah. So yeah, just really, you got to know that you can't stay in your bubble, your comfort bubble every single day. There are times when you have to do it, and this is the time that the college prepared particularly for you, where it's not going to be that detrimental when you enter the working world. Get what I mean?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just tried looking for it. There doesn't seem to be an English equivalent for it. But if you guys please if you guys are listening in on this, Bagai Rusa Masuk Kampung is a peribahasa. It's a proverb, it's an idiom in
Malay
Malay.
Malay proverb.
Yeah, Malay proverb. Basically describes someone who enters a new atmosphere, and like, you will know what a greenhorn is. Basically, someone who really has like no knowledge, or they don't know what to do in this like new situation, which Julia just described. Yeah, but as she mentioned, yeah, be willing to step out of your comfort zone, because this is that time to actually uh,
Test You test it out without the very heavy consequences of getting fired.
yeah, like, see where you fit in the working world later when you actually go out into it. While you're still studying, you get this chance. You can actually get a taste of what the industry is. Basically, setting your foot out on new horizons. Get it? Okay, never mind. There's a bad joke. Okay. You guys don't know that was I made an Animal Crossing reference there. Okay, moving on. That from that would flow to our next point: openly accepting criticism. So, for those of us, for those of y'all really, going out for your first internship on the first time on a college basis, this is really going to be something new for you. Yes, you need to get out of your comfort zone, try new things, and test new things. But it doesn't necessarily mean you will get it right on the first try. So, yeah, you will need to know that depending on which company you would be working for, they will have a standard they have set in terms of, let's say, work quality. What kind of what's the word out for it? KPI, yeah, key performance index or something like that. Yeah, they have a set standard for like what's the quantity of work that should be done, and also what's the quality of work that should be there, that represents the company well and their image and stuff like that. So you being a part of that, and mind you, interning with that company is not just them hiring you for your benefit, but also hiring your skills to benefit the company as well. So, you being employed with that company shows that since you're working with that company, you will have to fall in line with certain things that they are doing as well. Not to say that they would totally reject like any new ideas that will come from you or anything like that, but there's always that standard to follow. So being your first time, I can guarantee you that there will be mistakes or times where you might fall short, or if your work may lack certain things that your company might need. We are all human, and being human, we tend to fall short and even fail, and that's okay. So don't be afraid or sad when your boss or your colleagues give or your co-workers give feedback, because it's one way to learn and improve from there. So one experience, one example I can give from my internship was let's say, yeah, working with, let's say, a podcast company. There's this thing where every year, like, they have 1 year's worth of shows, like a series like that. So like the first year they got how many shows, and then they all have the same theme, and then the next year they have how many shows, and all those shows they have a particular theme, and the theme changes every year. Like the way the episode cover looks, it all has a certain look and feel to it. And my boss was actually looking forward to, let's say, a new design for a show cover for this year. So I tried some of my own ideas, because mind you, we all mass comm students, we barely know a thing or two about graphic design. It's not really my forte, not really up my alley. But I tried anyway. I tried stuff. Uh, yeah, he gave a lot of feedback, and at times my boss would sound a bit frustrated with me lah. Or maybe it's just his text being monotonous. But yeah, it came to a point where he just accepted and said, "You know what, Aaron? I don't think graphic design is for you or anything. It's okay lah. I'll do this part myself." So I was like, "Shit, man, damn sad." But yeah, I accepted it lah, and there were points where he actually gave feedback, and I took it and actually tried to improve on it as well. But in the end, I couldn't make up for it yet. One of the things he left on my mentor's evaluation form, that little form that the lecturers, or rather the student services, they'll ask you to have your boss fill up for you, to see how you've done in your company. One of the remarks he left me was, one area of improvement would be for my graphic design and typography skills also. So when he wrote it on my paper, I felt kind of thankful, because it actually gave me hope that, it seems that he showed hope that one day I'm ready to, like, actually improve in this area that I might lack in. Yeah. So, Julia, do you have any like experience of, let's say, people in rage criticizing you over, let's say, your work or anything like that?
For my part, it was because I clearly stated I was not a designer. I got thrown into design work as well, but it's more of a full-time thing, aside from writing articles. So my designs at the very start was a bit messy lah, of course. Uh, but for me, my design my the senior designer was very patient with me. But then again, it's maybe because it's her nature. She's a very uh lemah lembut person. She's very like those very soft Malay kind of person. I don't think I can ever see her getting angry at someone. So she was very patiently guiding me through that, and also because there was really a lack of designers, and that's why they really needed design. So I didn't really get the brunt of that criticism. It was more on like kind suggestions, and also sometimes like, Julia, can you please see the things properly, because I sometimes miss small typos and everything. But other than that, the criticism really isn't that bad for me. But I've heard my fellow other interns from other colleges, because she was taking the lead in one of the content creation, she got a lot of criticism, good criticism, good feedback. What's the word?
Constructive criticism.
Constructive criticism from the boss, because it was the lead, it was the whole image of the campaign. But in general, she said that it was good because the way he scolded, in a sense, is not out of madness, but it's because he really genuinely wants you to improve and also wants to keep up the KPI and all lah.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, like I said, there's a standard to follow. But depending on which company you are interning in, well, a lot of times, knowing that you are still fresh out of college, I think they will give us chance lah. They'll be kind, or at least
Yeah.
or at least pray your boss will be kind to you lah and say, hey, cut me some slack,
Yes.
because you don't know, when they might suddenly like lash out at you or something like that. But depending on where you're working for, um, but yeah,
Yeah, Ren, I want to add something.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because actually friends from the working world, what they told me, because I was actually freaking out when I entered internship because I was afraid my quality of work was not good enough and I'll get very badly scolded for it. But what my friend said really changed my mind. Is like what he said, because he was in charge of interns before. What he said is, we don't expect much from you. We are treating you like pure idiots, so we are okay.
Wow. Okay, that's one way to that's one way to put it. That's really
But
one way to
that's
put it.
why internship is a very crucial time for you to grow, because they don't expect much from you in the first place. Unless you show that they can expect from you, then that's a different story. Yeah. So that's why, because once you really enter the working world, they expect you to be on point and critical thinking and everything. So the only time you can mess up is during your internship, and that's the only time where criticism is the greatest part for you to grow. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the whole point about this point is your willingness to learn, right? Because if you're not going to learn, then how are you going to grow and be ready for the industry? Yeah. So next point.
Next point. The third point is be honest with your work. Truth be told, don't oversell yourself. There's this common phrase in the industry which is called always under promise but over deliver. Don't over promise then under deliver. To explain further, it means that you don't give them too high of expectation for them to expect. Keep the KPI as the minimum as they want. But then using that, you make sure you over deliver, as in you give something more. It's like telling your parents, what I think I will get a C plus for this exam, but then I actually got a B. You see, it's actually like they go, oh my god, you actually made it better, instead of telling them, I think I'll get a B, and then comes out a C. You get what I mean? So that's the main point, is to always under promise but over deliver. And always, and like, yeah, it's good to make a good first impression, to sell yourself, to market yourself and show out your skills, but don't do it in a prideful and boastful way. People in the industry can tell the difference between empty talk, empty boast, and people with actual skills and knowledge. So know your limits in selling yourself, and make sure when you sell yourself, you do know what you're selling and not just trying to put on a front. You get what I mean?
Yeah. So
And
don't.
if
Yeah.
yeah,
Sorry.
sorry,
You're saying.
yeah, I was saying, and also if you're not sure about something, and if you're really not certain on how to do this, and you need help, get help. Even if you're gonna get scolded, get help, because it's better to what's the thing? Get scolded before you mess up than mess up and then get scolded. You get what I mean? Yeah.
Better to what's the phrase? Better to seek forgiveness than ask permission. No, wait, actually better to ask permission first. Yeah, actually, yeah, come to think about
It's
it.
just better. It's just better to, because if you waste both people time, because you are doing a work that's not fitting, that's not correct, and then you're wasting your mentor's time to check it. So might as well you ask him and bother him first, and then you fix it, so that both is a time saving thing. In all honesty, it's very time efficient.
Right. If I may add on a bit, like, Just to give another example, from my internship, there was one point where my boss wanted to revamp our, the website, and he asked whether I can do web design. I'm like, no, I can't do web design. I have not done. No, if anything, the graphic design students in ICT, shout out to our graphic design friends. They might have, picked up, web design and actually learn all the code and the stuff. And but then, like, no, I don't know what I don't know how to web design. Are you kidding me? Don't ask me to do this. So it came to a point where I had to, even though I did, yeah, I made a good first impression with my boss. I told him I can do this, I can do that, I can do a lot of things really, but there are some things that I just cannot do. Let's say one of the things is web design. Another thing is like, um, sort of setting expectations for, let's say, editing videos. So I told him straight up front that, the videos that I'll be editing, like, it's going to be very simple because like I don't know After Effects, and I haven't got the time to actually like sit through any tutorials, or even we have not gone through After Effects yet, at least not in our diploma anyway. And so there were a lot of things I couldn't do as well. And I didn't have the time to recreate, let's say, certain graphs and charts from like infographics and stuff. So what I did, right, I straight up went and took a picture from my camera on the magazine that it was this infographic was on, and then I just straight photoshopped it and make it clearer and stuff, just to add to like one of the Facebook posts I was doing that day. So yeah, those were some of the limitations. Like, I could do a lot of things, but there are some things that I just cannot do, and I really have to be honest with that. Otherwise, right, your
You're
boss,
wasting everyone's time.
yeah, I'm gonna waste my boss's time, and like he's gonna expect things that I'm not gonna be able to deliver. So I might as well be honest with myself and with my boss and say, like, hey, I'm not able to do this, but there's another way you can go about this. You can also offer alternatives also to, let's say, certain things. Let's say you're not able to deliver a certain standard or stuff, but you can offer, like, instead of this, maybe I can do something like this, so that it sort of still fulfills the bare minimum, so that there is that level of like work done, in case there's something that can still be done about it. So yeah, be honest with your work, and like, don't plagiarize lah, guys.
Yeah.
Don't be a low life. No, don't plagiarize. Low life. Okay. The last point.
Aaron, do you want to do it?
Do I want to do it? Let's do it. Actually, we're both giving input anyway, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, right. I think I'll start off. Yeah, the last point. Have fun and enjoy the process. So I'm not too sure about other colleges and for other fields, but for ICT students especially, we get one whole semester. So that's up to 3 months ish. So depending on, let's say, I think for diploma students it's 12 weeks, and for degree students it's 10 weeks, if I'm not mistaken lah. For our internship, so we get up to like 3 months working experience. Go to work, get things done, learn new things, get paid, guys, get paid. This is the closest you can ever get to real life working experience, at the same time being a student. So you ought to just, cherish your moments, as there's always something you can get out of it while you're working at your chosen company. Yeah. There's, since internship is it's a new thing, at least if you're doing it for the first time, like if this is your first internship especially, yeah, actually savor all these moments and all these new things that you're gonna learn, because who you are today, um
It's the foundation for who you are tomorrow.
yes, correct. Okay, yeah, that's what I was going for. No lah, actually, yeah, who you are tomorrow will be different from who you are today, especially the sort of experiences you will go through. What more during your internship? What more doing things, work, having meaningful experience, going out for these, let's say, missions, like these works that you're doing for your company. It's not just work, like a 9 to 5 office job, filling papers and stuff like that. But like, it's something that contributes to society even. And what more the meaningful connections you can make with, let's say, new people you meet, what kind of stories you're going to hear, what kind of lessons are going to be learned. Who knows? Have fun, enjoy the roller coaster ride, enjoy the process. It's all going to shape you for a better you and also for a better society.
Mm-hmm. And take the time to know more people and network, because your value also relies on who you know, because who
Oh
you know can
yeah.
get you somewhere. And it's important to know important people, because we live in a society requires connection and networking to advance through. And as long as it's the positive side, it's not any negative light with back behind all your networking. It's fine the way it is. Honestly, enjoy it. It's one of the best moments, in my opinion, the best moments, because you get to meet new people, you get to meet people which has so many different experiences, get to hear their stories, their struggles, and they can give you advice on what to do from now on. I don't know, because I felt like I really belonged in my internship. They treated me like I was a part of them. I was cared for, and it's really just a nice process to go through. But if by any chance you accidentally entered a bad company, which is, I think, something that a lot of you would fear, take it as a lesson in that point. Take what you can, just try to not let any bad things affect you, and just take the positive out of it, honestly.
Yep, that's right. Okay, I think that's all. Is that all?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's a lot.
If we were to give more, we would talk until the next hour.
Or we could make a part two of this. I don't know. Let us know if you would like to hear more on this. But I think for now, that's all from us. That's 5 tips for your future internship experience. That's all from us. This is the Train of Thought podcast, brought to you by the Poetic Wit, with your train conductor host for today, Aaron Patrick.
And your friendly neighborhood scholar girl, Julia.
Now signing out. Peace.
Hey, bye. Peace.
Yeah, let's go.